Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm Yost Blind Prime, and for today I'm going to be teaching you how to transform Transformers Age of the Primes Armada Red-Alert from robot mode into vehicle mode. And sorry about the last video. Turns out that thing happened again where my camera randomly decides it's going to switch to the front camera instead of the rear camera because I record everything on my Galaxy S23 Ultra. And this is the new phone. I used to record on the Galaxy Note 9, and the Galaxy Note 9 has been giving me problems. I mean, after all, it's like a 7-year-old phone now, so it's got some hang-ups and it's starting to die on me, so I had to switch to the S23 Ultra. But the problem with the S23 Ultra is sometimes when you click the little clicker button on the stylus that you get to start the camera up, it likes to switch to front camera, then start recording. I don't know why. The Galaxy S23 Ultra switches to the front camera before recording, but it is definitely an annoying thing for this blind guy, because how do I know? Like, I rewatched the video to make sure I didn't say anything weird, or I just totally went off track and went on a tangent for 10 minutes. And, of course, listening to the video, I don't notice anything's wrong. And it took one of my subscribers pointing out, like, hey, you're off camera for this entire thing. I'm like, well, how much off camera am I? So I got one of my sighted friends to watch it, and he's like, dude, why are you recording a dresser? Where's that dresser? And I went, oh, the dresser's right behind my camera stand. And that's where my Hiss tank and Dragonfly sit. So if it's recording the dresser, it means it's on the front camera. And I'm not off camera. I'm like, continents away from the camera. I am so off camera, it's ridiculous. So when that person was like, you're off camera, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I got to move it to a little bit to the left, maybe, a little bit to the right, maybe. Do I have to bring it up? Do I have to bring it down? And it's just wild trying to set up a camera stand without the ability to see exactly the image that you're getting. And you have to use mathematics and understanding of how light bounces and stuff like that to figure out exactly how to set the camera up. Because after all a camera is a cone. And if you can figure out the area of the cone, then you can easily set up to be in the center of the cone. The difficulty with a new camera is figuring out the area of the cone. I could actually set my stand up to be a little higher, maybe. So I'm going to actually experiment with that over the next week to see if I can actually change my cell phone stand to incorporate a bigger cone of camera, a CC, if you will. So that being said, there were a couple of things I want to retouch from yesterday's video. Not yesterday, sorry. A couple of days ago, I came down with a weird migraine sickness thing, head cold for a couple of days. It was bad. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly do the size comparison that we missed out on last time, because a lot of people do like the size comparisons, and I enjoy the size comparisons. So I'm going to do the size comparisons again. And, there's something about this Optimus Prime. I remember figuring out how to transform him correctly, and then it just not working out. Just not working out. He is just... I don't remember exactly how you're supposed to transform his shoulders. There's another step in there, so you don't get this M&M-shaped shoulder. Oh, well. I know there's a way to flatten these shoulders out. I just haven't been able to figure it out. Blind people problems. It isn't like I can just look at the instructions. I'll have to actually rewatch my video on Armada Optimus Prime to figure that out. So let's go ahead and compare these two guys so we get to the transformation. Yeah, side-to-side comparison. The top of Red-Alert's shoulder panel comes to below the wheel on Optimus Prime's shoulder when it's like mistransformed in its M shape. And then we have face-to-face, and make sure they're both flat on the ground. There you go. Yeah, stand up face to face and be straight about it. There you go. Yeah, so Optimus Prime stands just a little taller, like he can look over the top of Red-Alert's head, but not by much. So I think that's a pretty good little comparison right there. And then, of course, we have the nice deluxe class wheel jack from Armada, which is just... I love the fact they use the side swipe mold for this guy, because the side swipe mold is just one of those. One of those molds from Transformers that I think will be a golden age mold, and it will last a long time because it is a lot of fun. So let's put them face to face, and we get the top of Wheeljack's head goes to the that part of Red Alert's chest, where the front of the truck is, right at the little hood area for that front of the truck. That's where the top of Wheeljack's head ends up being. Wheeljack's shoulders are really low compared to Red Alert's shoulders. We've got a big difference there of at least 3 Lego studs. And it's pretty nice little comparison. Now, finally, we'll do one last little comparison here with Armada Starscream, because Armada Starscream is just such a fun guy. Yeah, oh cool. I had to make sure I had him pointed the right direction. Okay, so Armada Starscream, if we're ignoring his shoulder wings, we're just taking a look at his shoulders. His shoulders and Red Alert's shoulders are on the same plane. We're going to put them face to face, and we get that. Actually, if we do that, yeah, Starscream's guns can just go on the either side of Red Alert's face, and they're the same height. Like, it's a match made in heaven right there. All right, so that's those two. And something else, I need to take Starscream's sword here, because we're going to discuss something with that sword when we're discussing the transformation for Red Alert. Let's set Starscream off to the side, and now let's get into the transformation. I'm sorry that it's taken so long today, but I wanted to make sure that we did the size comparison that I covered in the last video. So when you're starting with Red Alert's transformation, I always suggest pulling his little gun hand out first. You don't really need to remove the thing on his hood, the one that's in the hood port, which I love the hood port. It makes me happy. Before we get too much into the transformation, I'm going to discuss a special thing that I do for this transformation, because this step is really annoying. So we're gonna transform his head slightly, and I'm going to show you how I get the head back out. So to untransform the head, just pull the head back slightly. You reach your fingernail down around the chin of his head. So you just pull the head back. You find around his chin there's a little bulbous spot. There's a little spot that pops up just a bit. You want to wrap your fingernail around that edge and kind of pull that up. It's a little difficult to get at, but once you got it, you got it. And then you can go ahead and flip this. There's a little piece in here that needs to get flipped out. Come on. Okay, here it goes. So the best way to flip it out is to come to the end of the panel that you've unfolded, and it's got this little half moon shape, and that half moon shape is for the head to fit in properly. And that's going, if you push on that half moon shape a little bit, you can actually pull this little flap. You unfold it from the underside of that half moon shape. And then we can fold his head in there. Now, once you get his head in there, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get his head out. Like, I have broken fingernails trying to get this head out of here. This is the biggest flaw in the transformation, is there's no way to get this head out. Like, if the underside of him could have unfolded and you could have just stuck your finger in there and popped the head out, that would have been excellent. But if you have Armada Starscream with you and you get his sword, not the Star Saber one, which I've no idea what happened to it. I still can't find my Star Saber. You can use this he's got a little hook on the end of his sword. So what I do, and it may be actually just designed like this. So what I do is I put his sword in there on the side of the head, and then I just twist it just a bit, and I try and hook that head. All right? And it's going to take you a bit. It's going to take you a bit. Try and hook that head. You just got to pull the head out a bit with your fingernail, okay? And then we're just going to like slide this thing on the side by the head, twist and pull. And it's not, you know what? It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You are going to fail at it a few times before you get it right, because this head is, like I said, simply the worst part. So we're going to pull that head up as much as we can. Nuts! I've folded it down again. All right. So we're going to pull it up as much as we can, and nuts, it keeps falling. Okay, hold the top of the head with my fingertip. No, don't fall in there again, you stupid head. Get out. Get out of there. All right, no, it's going to fall in again. This head, I swear to God. Come on. We got to, it's like fishing. You got to just kind of pull that all the way up. Then we're going to fold that front piece down, maybe. That'll help. Yeah, we fold the front piece down, and then we can reach in there. And come on now. Get in there. Hey, 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 hey. Ah. Come on. Unfold yourself. No, get jammed. This is why I'm covering this part first, so you can see exactly like the flaw of this transformer. This is it. This is the only flaw in the transformer that I've been able to find. There we go. Okay, so that's how you do it. It takes a little work. It takes a little effort. You got to use the little hook on the end and spin this sword around a bunch, like surgery, in order to get Red Alert's head out of his chest. But that's how you do it. You're going to need some sort of pokey stick or something. So now let's get into the actual transformation. Please like, share, and subscribe. It would go a long way to helping me reach more blind people. And that's the target audience I'm trying to reach. And I'm also trying to raise awareness for the blind by showing the sighted out there that us blind people do enjoy the similar things that you sighted people enjoy as well. You know, we are very similar on that. We just enjoy them in different ways. Now, let's go ahead and pull this panel out from the chest. Fold that panel up all the way again, and then we're going to go ahead and collapse that head in there. We're not trying again to unfold that head. Then go ahead and close that panel on top of the head. We're done with the head for today. That's it. That was all I was going to show you with the head. So next step is we are going to then take and kind of break this transformer a bit by grabbing his backpack and pulling it up. And then we're going to grab the chest area here, not his chest, his lower waist area, and we're going to pull that backwards, because that's going to fold his front chest down. And what's going to happen is his butt is actually going to like flush up with with this lumbar from the end of his backpack. So we're just going to move that 90 degrees. There it goes. It's on a ratchet too, so you get one click and then two clicks. And I think that's neat. So you get two clicks and you got it transformed. Now that is one of the easier steps done. So next step is we're going to come over here to the arms, and we're going to fold the arms up into their positions. Let's go ahead and get that straightened out. All right. So rotate the arms so that the windshield is going to line up with the side of the vehicle. And now we're going to fold that arm all the way. Come on, arm. Fold up. Fold up. Fold up. There it goes. There it is. Yeah. Come on. There it goes. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're using the double jointed elbow to fold the arm up, and then the arm's got a little bitty rectangular peg sticking out of the side of it. And if you feel on the inside of this, of the car door here, should no. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. Just double checking my work here, guys. So when you fold up the arm, and it's all going to lay down on the underside of the door, like the door handle, and then you have that area that has the armrest, and then the pocket where you store your Kleenexes or something. The arm is going to fold up into the armrest in that little pocket where you fold up your Kleenexes. So we're going to do the same with the other side of this. Rotate that arm around, and then we're going to collapse the front arm and the lower arm together, or the upper arm and the lower arm together, utilizing that wonderful double jointed elbow that I just adore. And hopefully this connects together properly. Right. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Now, that's what I forgot to do over here, because I knew there was a step missing. You're going to take, now that when you folded all that stuff down in the lower door, you want to grab that bottom bit and rotate it 90 degrees. And then it's going to snap into place against the door, and you're going to have kind of this area sticking out like a little shelf. And there's a little bitty peg sticking out at the end, at the elbow of the arm that was folded up. And then if you feel on the other side, you got a little bitty peg sticking out of the end of the elbow of the arm that was folded up. And those are offset because next to them are some tiny little peg holes. So these guys are actually going to combine together. And we're going to make that happen by closing the doors. We just got to close each of the doors down, and those pieces will fold into the underside of the vehicle. Just make sure you lined all that stuff up. There we go. There we go. And reach in there and line those two arm pieces up so that the elbows can combine. And there you have a little shelf in there. And that's how everything gets together for the arms. Now let's come down over here to the legs, and the legs are even crazier. First and foremost, close the heels. Yeah, the heels, those things that I didn't even realize existed until last video. That's why, You know, somebody suggested that I re-record last video, and I'm like, but that excitement for discovering the heels was real. I can't pretend with that. That was too real. I was so excited about that, and I just couldn't lose that soundbite. So, you know, you're just gonna have to be blind for that video. You're just gonna have to pretend that you're blind. And won't that help you raise awareness and be like, huh, you know, it is kind of annoying not being able to see what somebody's talking about, but you gotta use your imagination, and that's always fun. So, next, while I was talking to you, I'm doing stuff. So we folded the heel up. Then you're going to fold the foot all the way forward so that the toe leans against the shin. Then you're going to fold that shin back on its own hinge, not the knee hinge, the shin hinge that we talked about in the video on Tuesday. And then you're going to, you know, that's all going to fold down. It's going to be really nice. It's going to leave like a nice flat platform at the top. Come over here, do the same thing again. Fold the toe forward all the way so the toe and the shin are connected, and then fold the shin back all the way so the shin and the knee are connected, and then rotate this side panel for the vehicle so that that tire is facing downwards. Rotate the side panel on the other side so the tire is facing downwards, and then the lights and stuff will be there. Good, good, good. Well, look at this. This is coming together quite nice. I do love how this transformation comes together. So move the legs up just a bit, so we can line up all of our panels, because we want to make sure that the panel with the tire lines up with the door panel, which lines up to the front. You want to, you know, trace your fingers down that, making sure you have all the lines lined up. And we're going to then do something fun. And this is a slight negative to the transformation too. We're making sure that I didn't forget a connection part. I don't think I did. I think we are ready for the final piece. And the final piece is this backpack. The backpack acts as the linchpin for this entire transformation. And this backpack also has a slight flaw. It has this little tailgate thing that unfolds. And for me, the tailgate thing had a little bit of a factory defect where it falls off if I'm not careful, because there's a little tab in there that's broken. So we're going to then fold this backpack all the way down. Come on, backpack. Come on, backpack. There it goes. Yeah, and it fell off. I knew it would. It does that. It does not like to stay attached anymore, and that is super sad. I hate that that happened, but you know what? Sometimes stuff like that happens, and you just got to deal. You just got to deal. So we're going to reattach this little panel piece, and little panel piece reattached. Right? You're reattached. Yay! Now we're just going to fold everything down. Hey now. Fold up. Nuts! That little panel piece fell off again. Let's make sure we get these pieces attached. Where did that panel piece go? There it is. Okay. Maybe we can get these guys to line up, and then I'll reattach the panel piece once I get these guys all lined up and connected. Come on. Come on. Connect. Connect. You know, that bit connect guy screwed with me for the rest of my life, because every time I say connect, I want to scream bit connect. Bit connect! Okay, there you go, and it's mostly transformed. There's just something going on here with the rear, and it's not wanting to, do the thing. Do your thing, Jolly, do the thing. I'm gonna rotate that around, Nice, nice. Nice and nice. Cool. Come on. Let's get this piece attached, and he should be donezo. So, let's reattach this piece. Lower it down. Come on now. This is always the annoying part of any transformation, when you're like, I got it. No, wait. It's something went wrong. In a tiny, tiny way, something went wrong. And now nothing's really connecting. Oh, the joys of Transformers. Let's go ahead and reattach that piece if I can just get it slid in there. And then that should attach everything. Yes. This piece is kind of the linchpin, and it is annoying when it's not wanting to connect in properly. Come on now. Fit into your little spot, Mr. Piece. Okay. There we go. Come on. There it is. There it is. Okay, good. Yeah, that little piece. You gotta get that tailgate to fold down, and then you have to attach. You have to squeeze the legs together around the tailgate to hold it in place, and the tailgate actually holds the back in place. And the tailgate is the troublesome piece. And if you're like me and your tailgate's slightly broken, it's going to lead you to have some problems. And now, where did I put your gun hand, sir? Where did your gun hand go? Where did the gun hand go? Uh-oh. Well, that's not bueno. Found it. It's over there. Okay, so now that you've transformed your Red Alert, you want to find there's a little bitty peg on top of his area there, and you can take this one of his arm pieces, and you'll notice there's a tiny little peg hole in his little arm gun, and you can set that on the little peg sticking out of the top of him. So we're going to do that real quick. It's a little difficult to get it in. There it goes. And now he's got a little laser beam thing that moves around on top of his car. I like that. I think that's a fun little addition. And then of course you've got the you've got his radio antenna. It's a cool little vehicle mode. It's a fun little transformer. The transformation is a lot of fun. The panel on the back, for me being broken, is annoying, but I'm not going to take that away from this transformer because I believe I just got the short end of the stick on this transformer in that particular case. Otherwise, it is a great transformer, and this transformation's actually a lot of fun. It's very intuitive. It comes together nicely to get a really sweet vehicle. I loved the vehicles from Armada because they were just so uniquely designed, and that's what we get here. We get a very uniquely designed, fun little vehicle, and the steps aren't too bad. It isn't too crazy what's happening. There's just that negative with the head. That is the biggest negative on that, and that definitely will be taking this figure from the S class and the A+ class and setting him strictly in the A for transformation. He is an A-class transformation. That head thing is the biggest negative. If that didn't exist, he would be an S, because this is a complicated transformation that's not too complex and is very fun to do. I was going at it slow and cautious because I was explaining it to you. But once you get this transformation, you can fly through it very quickly. It is a lot of fun to play with, and he's definitely a great addition to your collection, especially if you're like me and you're collecting the Armada stuff and wanting them to make more Armada stuff. Come on, make more Armada stuff, please. Well, I've been Blind Prime, and, I usually would try to grab Kream and pull him over here, but I've learned the glory of treats. I just woke him up from his nap. There's one treat. Oh, what's the Kream doing? You woke up fast. Yeah, no, there's no more treats. You want another treat? Huh? No, you can't get into the treat bucket. You're too smart. There's another treat. There you go. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I've been Blind Prime, and this big fat thing has been Kream da Cat. What? You want more? You want the treats in the bucket? No, you can't have the treats in the bucket. No, you can't have the treats in the bucket. No, I'm giving you another treat. No.